That morning, Robert stood in front of the mirror a little longer than usual. He had just turned 63. He looked at his graying hair, the deeper lines around his eyes, and quietly said to himself, "I guess I'm getting old." It was a simple sentence, but from that day on, something shifted. He started choosing darker clothes. He stopped wearing his favorite boots. He declined a few invitations from friends. Not because he couldn't go, not because he was sick, but because somewhere inside he believed that turning 60 meant stepping back. And that's where it often begins. Not with weakness, not with inability, but with the quiet decision to shrink. Many people over 60 don't lose their energy overnight. They slowly convince themselves that they're supposed to fade into the background, that excitement belongs to younger people, that bold colors are no longer appropriate, that laughter should be softer, that trying something new might look foolish. But here's the truth. Age is a number. Style is an attitude. The difference between someone who looks vibrant at 65 and someone who looks defeated at 55 isn't the year they were born. It's the way they carry themselves. It's whether they've decided life is still happening or whether they believe it's winding down. Linda realized this when her granddaughter asked her one afternoon, "Grandma, why don't you wear bright colors anymore? You used to love yellow." That innocent question hit her harder than expected. She hadn't stopped liking yellow. She had stopped feeling allowed to wear it. And how many of us do the same thing? We don't change because we want to. We change because we think we should. Style at 60 plus isn't about dressing like you're 25. It's not about chasing trends. It's about presence. It's about standing in your own skin and saying, "I'm still here." Confidence at this age looks different and stronger. You're no longer trying to impress anyone. You're no longer competing. You've lived enough life to know who you are. That kind of self-awareness is magnetic. One afternoon, Robert opened his closet and saw the leather jacket he hadn't worn in years. He hesitated. Is this too much? He wondered. Then he caught himself. Too much for who? He put it on, not to look young, not to prove anything, just to feel like himself again. He didn't ride across the country, he just walked around the block. But something shifted in his posture, in his smile, in his energy. It wasn't about the jacket, it was about permission. When you reach your 60s, something remarkable happens, if you allow it. The pressure begins to ease. The deadlines, the career race, the constant responsibility, much of it softens. For the first time in decades, you have space. Space to choose. Space to explore. Space to say no without guilt. That freedom is style. For many people, self-care was never a priority. You took care of children, you worked long hours, you made sure everyone else was okay. But now you're allowed to take care of yourself. Getting a fresh haircut, wearing clothes that fit well, walking regularly, standing a little taller. These aren't acts of vanity, they're acts of respect toward yourself. And here's something important. Energy follows attention. When you start caring about how you feel, your energy changes. Your eyes brighten, your voice steadies. People notice. Social connection plays a powerful role too. People who stay engaged, who talk, laugh, share stories, glow differently. Isolation makes a person shrink. Conversation brings color back into the face. At 71, Maria signed up for a beginner's dance class. She almost canceled 3 times before the first session. She felt stiff, self-conscious, older than everyone else. But after a few weeks, something unexpected happened. Her body didn't magically become 25 again, but her smile came back. She later said, "I thought my story was over. Turns out I just started a new chapter." That's the real shift. Not physical transformation, but mental expansion. Aging doesn't mean resisting reality. It means embracing change without losing identity. Your gray hair tells a story. Your wrinkles are proof of decades lived. That's not something to hide. That's something earned. At 60 plus, you carry something powerful, perspective. You've survived heartbreak. You've handled setbacks. You've built things. You've lost things. You've kept going. That depth gives you a presence that youth cannot imitate. And here's something beautiful. Younger generations are watching. They watch how you handle aging. They watch whether you shrink or expand. If you live with confidence, they learn that getting older isn't something to fear. It's something to grow into. Style at this age isn't loud. It's steady. It's the calm way you respond to problems, the grounded way you speak, the fact that you no longer need to prove your worth. That quiet confidence is more attractive than speed or perfection. So, if you're over 60 and hesitating to try something because you think it's too late, pause and ask yourself, is it really your body stopping you, or is it an outdated belief? Often, the biggest limitation isn't in the knees or the back, it's in the mind. When the belief shifts, the posture shifts. When the posture shifts, the energy follows. 60 plus is not the end of style, it's the evolution of it. You may move a little slower, but you move with intention. You may speak more calmly, but your words carry weight. You may live more quietly, but your presence is stronger. You don't need to compete with youth. You are not behind. You are in a different season. And this season can be bold, colorful, expressive. You're allowed to wear the jacket. You're allowed to take the class. You're allowed to laugh loudly. You're allowed to live fully. Because 60 plus isn't about fading away. It's about finally being free enough to be fully yourself.